Hi y'all, my name is Heather B and I do be reading. Today I want to talk to you guys about BookCon. Now I'm sure some of you watched the beginning of this video and went, girl, what in the heck is BookCon? Let me explain. BookCon is an event that is kind of akin to Comic-Con, except it's all things books. This event used to take place every single year. Now in 2020, because of COVID, it got canceled, unfortunately, and it has not been brought back until this year. And I am so pumped. This convention is, like I said, literally all things books. So they have big authors that are going to do signings. They have some of those authors are going to be doing panels and talks with other people. Every panel is going to be on a completely different topic. And then they also have other events like Bookish Bingo, and I think they're going to have a pajama party on Saturday night, and then they're going to have a big fantasy ball Saturday night, and I think they're making like bookish mocktails in a couple of the events and things like that. So it's literally just anything and everything books. There's also going to be an indie alley where indie authors are able to come and set up tables with their books and also do signings as well. And then there's going to be exhibitors that have things like bookish merch, t-shirts, bags, pins, bookmarks, things for your shelves. Literally anything you can think of that's bookish related, BookCon is going to have it. Unfortunately, I give you all of this information and BookCon has been sold out for a little while. So if you are looking to go, there might be other avenues to get tickets, but I'm not entirely sure. What I did want to talk about is my plans for BookCon. I literally have spent the entire morning planning out every panel and signing that I would love to go to. And I also pre-ordered a bunch of indie books that I thought sounded good. So if you're going to the event and you're looking for what other people are doing and what indie pre-orders other people are getting before they get to the event. Or if you're not going to the event, you just want to hear what it's all about, stick around. And I'm so excited to tell you guys what I'm going to be doing. If you are going to the event also, please come find me. I was supposed to be going with a friend, and unfortunately, due to personal reasons, she had to back out. So I will be there alone. And I've never been to a convention like this before, so I'm terrified. So please come up and say hi, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of everything that I'm thinking about doing, everything that I'm hoping to get reservations for, and then I'll give you a rundown of all of the indie books that I pre-ordered as well. The first thing I want to talk about is all of the indie pre-orders that I did. The fact that I have already spent $300 on books and I haven't even been to the convention yet tells you just how much money I'm going to be spending at this convention, y'all. Say a prayer for me. Anyway, for those of you that are going to BookCon and you're like, girl, what pre-orders are you talking about? I found out by scrolling through the BookCon tagged posts on Instagram that there is a website called Beventi, and on that website, you can find your event. So they have like a Polycon and Sinners and Stardust and all the other events on there. You go to BookCon and then it'll take you through a list of all of the authors that have open pre-orders for the event. Now, some of these authors have special editions that are only going to be available at signings, whether they're only available at BookCon or they're only available at a couple of conventions that they're going to. These are going to be exclusive to convention signings only, okay? And the website will tell you that. I literally went through this website under the BookCon tag and just looked through every single author and every single book and was like, oh, this one sounds interesting. This one sounds good. I should get this one. And the reason that I did this is because I know that I'm going to be inclined to buy some things from trad authors, but the most exciting part about this event for me, other than the panels and the signings, is getting to see new books from indie authors that I might not have ever seen before. And I am so pumped about that. I read so many indie authors, it's ridiculous. And most of the time, the indie authors that I read are some of my favorite books and some of my favorite authors. So I'm very excited to show some of them love. And I want to talk about some of the ones that I pre-ordered. Again, I spent way too much money already, but it's fine. Let's get into it. The first book that I pre-ordered is Not Your Pucking Sunshine by Amy Nova. This is a book that is not released yet. This book doesn't come out until April 4th, so it comes out right before the con. And this is an Omegaverse. I am in love with Omegaverse books, but they're not typically trad published. Sometimes they are, but not typically. So I am very excited to give an indie author some love on this one. Let me just give you a quick description of the book. Joy has always been the shadow, a sister, an afterthought, a bargaining chip no one bothers to ask. Drowning in a world of Omega Pink, she wants to be left alone with her art to dream about the perfect goth bat cave, not some frilly nest. And she certainly doesn't want to get dragged along by her influencer sister for some dumb PR stunt with the hockey team's golden boy. But somebody has to grab the pics for the brand deals. What she didn't expect was the scent match. Beckett is supposed to save his pack, carry them into fame, money, safety. After one too many trips to the penalty box, the message is clear. Settle down or get off the ice. His pack has sacrificed too much for him to blow this. He can handle a few fake dates with a social media starlet. What he can't handle is being her scent match. He hides it from Ash, his first love and leader of his pack. It should be Ash on the ice, not him. The injury that took his career almost blew up their pack. He hides it from Liam, too. He can't put another dream in front of Liam only to have it snatched away. But there's something wrong with the scent match, and he can't put his finger on it. Maybe there's something wrong with him. Deeply wrong. It's wrong to stand next to your future mate and desperately want her little sister like she's the air you were always meant to breathe. Not Your Pucking Sunshine is an MMMF ice hockey Omegaverse romance with fake dating, a grumpy Omega, a sunshine alpha, and a pack with problems. I'm in love. Are we kidding? Are we joking? That was the easiest thing I've ever pre-ordered in my life. And I'm pretty sure that one is an exclusive edition. I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure. Again, I love Omegaverse. I love ice hockey. I love Grumpy Sunshine. And I love fake dating. Literally all of my favorite things wrapped up into one book. How can I not pre-order that? The second book that I pre-ordered was One Night Stand by Tanvier Peart. I definitely butchered that name, and I am so sorry. It might be Tanvier Peart, but I am not sure. All I know is I am very excited about this book. The cover honestly sold me because it's a sports romance, and then I read the description, and I was like, are we joking? Are we joking? This one I remember is an exclusive edition, but let me just read this blurb for you. 3 years ago, I decided to have my first one-night stand. The plan was simple. Research how to do it and meet a man at the bar before nerves playing with my guts got the best of me. I wanted to ring in the new year between a stranger's legs. Someone with good hygiene and exceptional tonsil strength to take the edge off of studying mechanical engineering. Then he walked in. I'd heard whispers about a night with Night, tales of toe cramps and matted hair. Antonio is the biggest player and not the man to relieve me of my pent-up tension. His thick thighs, veiny forearms, and charming smile promised a trip to the hospital. I shouldn't have followed him back to his condo, but I did. Dinner turned into a kiss, and that kiss led to accidental humping. That's how we ended up in the emergency room. He had a broken nose, and my wig was stuck on his watch. 3 years and a PhD later, Antonio has cemented himself in my life as my best friend. Moving to the city where my sister lives, and where he plays professional rugby, wasn't a big deal at first, but everything changed when we hugged. His cologne surrounded me, and his eyes stayed locked on mine. Our friendship is platonic, ironclad after the one-night stand gone wrong, so why can't I shake the feeling that we've barely scratched the surface? One Night Stand is a friends to lovers rugby romance with spice, shenanigans, and a trip to the ER. Perfect for romance readers who like rugby romance, rom-com, Playboy cinnamon roll, awkward FMC, one night stand gone wrong, friends to lovers, STEM rep, his childhood crush, opposites attract, slow burn, and hunching and heat. Are we joking? The fact that they end a one night stand going to the ER is wild. And I have to see how that one night stand that went completely wrong leads to them being close friends. I really need to know how one goes to the other. I also can't wait for him to absolutely fall head over heels for her and for her to just be super, super awkward about it. I'm so thrilled about that book. I hope you guys can understand why I chose to pre-order that one. The next book that I pre-ordered is I Do by Carin Hart. This book is actually an omnibus, and it is an exclusive to her 2026 signings. I don't know if it's exclusive to BookCon, but it's exclusive to her doing whatever signings she's doing this year. And it is such a cute cover. Honestly, the cover roped me in, and then I saw dark romance and mafia. Yeah, sign me up. Let me read you guys the blurb for this omnibus, which includes The Devil's Bargain and then Bloody Wedding. So, The Devil's Bargain: when she accidentally kills her blackmailing ex, Ava is desperate to avoid getting caught, and her old flame, Lincoln, is the only man who can help, but he's not willing to offer assistance unless she gives him everything he desires. And then Bloody Wedding, which is the second book in the omnibus, is after learning she'll have to marry a member of the Order of the Ode, a sinister secret society, Lonnie Doherty prepares for her wedding until Adrian Heller, a man from her past, makes a bloody entrance to claim her instead. And the tags on this one are mafia, forced living situation, arranged marriage scenario, and second chance romance. I have yet to read a mafia romance, and I haven't read dark romance in a while. I think that was the main thing that caught my attention with this book. And then I saw that it was an exclusive, it was an omnibus, so I only have one book that I have to carry around, and it would be signed. I was sold. The next book that I pre-ordered is a little bit different from the previous ones in that it is actually a blind date with a book from a specific author. Now, I went through all of the books that this author had available for pre-order, and I was interested in almost every single one of them. So I was like, you know what? A blind date with a book sounds perfect. So hopefully I get something that I'm interested in, but honestly, every single one of her books sounded good. The author is Jennifer Bonds, and she writes romance books, and a lot of her romance books involve your typical tropes like, you know, enemies to lovers or fake dating or literally every trope that I'm interested in. I was able to give her notes. She said that if she was able to, she would try to coincide with the notes. My main note was that I would prefer that it be the first book in a series. She has a couple different series, and it looks like they're all interconnected standalones, but I'm a little OCD. I'm actually a lot OCD. I take medication for that crap. But I prefer, even when I'm reading interconnected standalones, to read the first book first. It feels very off and weird to not do that. So I requested, hopefully, to get the first book in a series. I also let her know that I'm obsessed with sports romance, I'm obsessed with enemies to lovers, and I'm obsessed with fake dating. So anything with any of those, I would be super happy. But honestly, like I said, I went through the entire list of pre-orders and I could not decide. I literally could not pick. So I'm going to let her pick for me. The next book I pre-ordered was Monstrous by Nicole Rubino. This book, first of all, the cover is so freaking cool. But the fact that the girl on the cover has vampire fangs, sold, done. Never clicked on something so fast in my life. Then I read the description. This is the first book in a series, but I read the description and I was like, I need to read this right now. Let me read it for you. I've never been afraid of the dark. I never needed any reassurance that there was no monster in the closet or under my bed. Perhaps that's because a part of me always knew I was one. Monstrous claws weren't the type of gift I'd been expecting for my 18th birthday, along with the desire to eat my ex-boyfriend. Yet those beastly traits and carnivorous urges are the exact reason I'm here at Alastair University. Alastair University was all I heard about growing up. Its prestige and exclusivity could rival any Ivy League. But that's not the real reason that sets the school apart from others. Everyone in this school is a monster. Like me. I should feel safe here. This school will afford me the opportunity to hone my monstrous abilities and curb my carnivorous urges. Not to mention, I have a fierce girl gang by my side, guiding me every step of the way. But then decapitated bodies start showing up on campus. Someone is killing off students, and in a school full of monsters, everyone is a suspect. Yet all eyes are on Nick Curveos, a boy whose charm is as deadly as his claws. Despite danger lurking around every corner, I'm determined to prove Nick's innocence. But in order to do that, I'll have to let my monstrous side loose. I just don't know what I'm more afraid of, coming face to face with a bloodthirsty monster or myself. Offering a sinister twist on your typical Greek mythology stories, Monstrous is the first in a 3-book dark fantasy series filled with jaw-dropping twists, heart-stopping romance, and deadly cliffhangers. If you were a Percy Jackson fan, but now your tastes are darker, this series is for you. Do we not all just want to read that right now? Are we kidding? Are we joking? What is happening? I need that in my hands right now. I don't even want to wait the 3 or 4 weeks that I have left until BookCon. I need it right now. Right now. The last books that I grabbed for pre-order, and yes, I did say books, plural, because I grabbed an entire series of signing exclusives, would be Face Off, Power Play, Slapshot, Sin Bin, and Hat Trick, all by Chelsea Curto. You've probably heard of at least Face Off, if not most of these books. This is a series that follows, obviously, if you know anything about ice hockey, based on the titles, this entire series follows ice hockey, and it is an interconnected standalone series. I have yet to read these, but I have heard such good things about Face Off specifically. I know a lot of different booktubers and bookstagram and book talkers that have all read Face Off and absolutely loved it. So when I saw that it was there, I was like, duh, I have to get it. But then when I saw that I could just buy the entire series with the cutest signing exclusive covers I've ever seen in my life, I was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I have to do that. Did I actually have to do that? No, I didn't. But it's a pre-order, so I'll pay it off before I get there, and then it'll be like free books. Girl math. Duh. I'm not going to give you a rundown of every single book because there are 5 in the series, and I think if I went through every single blurb, you guys would click away so fast. It would be ridiculous. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and look those ones up, specifically Face Off, which is the first book in the series, again, by Chelsea Curto. Again, did I need an entire series that I've never read before? No, but this is BookCon. This is the one time that I'm going to be breaking my book buying ban, hopefully. And I'm just really pumped about this. So I just couldn't pass it up. The exclusive covers are so stinking cute, and I'm so excited about it. Honestly, I like the exclusive covers better than the actual initial illustrated covers, which is very rare for me. I just wasn't a huge fan of the illustrated covers. They're not terrible. They're just kind of not my vibe. And I love the signing exclusive covers. That was a very quick, I hope, rundown of all of the books that I have pre-ordered thus far for BookCon. Now let's get into what I am planning to get a reservation for, or hoping to get a reservation for, panels and signing-wise for the rest of the event. I was lucky enough to be able to grab VIP tickets for the entire weekend for BookCon. Part of the benefits of that is that we get complimentary coat check, we get early access into the venue, we get a shipping service if we would like for all our books, if we don't want to carry them around or try to lug them home with us if you're flying to the event or what have you. The biggest benefit, in my opinion, other than the early access to the venue, is we get to reserve signings and panels a full day ahead of everybody that has regular general admission, whether they have single day or full weekend, just general admission. They don't get to do reservations until March 18th. I get to do reservations with the other VIP and premium VIP people on the 17th, which I'm hoping means that the few that I feel like are a must for me, I will definitely get into. Again, fingers crossed, I'm really hoping for that. There are only 1 or 2 that I will be genuinely upset if I do not get a reservation for them. But the rest of them are just kind of up in the air. Now, each panel only has 1 time for it. So if you're looking to go to a panel, the only time slot is whatever time slot that you see when you first see the panel. The author signings, however, there are multiple different time slots for some of the authors. So Veronica Roth is one of the authors that's going to be there. She has multiple signings both days. Victoria Aveyard is going to be there. She has multiple signings both days. Rachel Reid is going to be there. She has multiple signings both days. So some of the bigger authors who were able to do both days are doing multiple signings. Then you have authors like Matt Dinniman, who wrote Dungeon Crawler Carl. He only has one signing time. So if you're looking to go to his signing, that's the only one. I believe Andy Weir only has one signing time as well. So there's only a couple of them that only have one signing time, but those are the ones I'm trying to prioritize. And obviously the panels, which only happen once. So let's go through everything that I have selected. I know some people did Excel spreadsheets for this. I did not. I literally just went in my notes app. I will show you guys. It looks crazy. Literally just went in my notes app and wrote everything down in a list. Is this a good way to do this? Probably not, but it's what worked. It's what I spent my whole morning on. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to tell you guys every single panel I'm hoping to get a reservation for and every single signing that I'm hoping to get a reservation for. I tried to prioritize, again, panels, but we'll see how it goes when I go to do reservations on Tuesday. I am terrified. I think this video is going to come out after I do my reservations. So maybe I'll update you guys in the caption as to what I actually was able to get reservations for. Or maybe I'll add on to the end of the video. Who knows? The first panel that I have on my list is one that if I do not get a reservation for it, I will hysterically cry for days. This is going to be one of my top priorities. If I could pick a top 3 of things that I must get a reservation for, this one is top 1, first priority. I need to go to this panel. You'll understand in a second. This panel happens Saturday from 11 to 12, and it is Game-Changing TV Celebrating Heated Rivalry. The panelists, Rachel Reid and Jacob Tierney. Are we joking? Like, I legitimately need a minute just thinking about it. The fact that I could be in the same room as Rachel Reid and Jacob Tierney while they're talking about the TV show, I'll be hysterically crying in the back of the room. Like, you don't even understand. I literally just got a Heated Rivalry tattoo 2 days ago. You don't understand. I will be dying in the back of the room. Here's the blurb that they give you for the event. When a beloved novel heads to the screen, we hope to see its characters and moments fully realized in a way that deepens our connection to the story. In this conversation, best-selling author and consulting producer Rachel Reid and creator, director, writer, and executive producer Jacob Tierney break down the creative process behind adapting the acclaimed Crave original series Heated Rivalry, now streaming on HBO Max in the US, tracing its evolution from page to production and the creative decisions that helped cement the series as a cultural phenomenon. Again, this is the only time that this panel will be happening, so I need reservations for this. This will be the main thing that I will be trying to get reservations for. The next thing I have on my list is a reservation for a signing with Miss Rachel Gillig. I just finished One Dark Window like a week or so ago, and easily one of my favorite books that I have read in a very, very, very long time. I'm not a big fantasy reader, so having a book that is a fantasy book sit that high for me, and just for me to have fallen so much in love with it, I cannot wait to read Two Twisted Crowns, by the way. I knew that I had to add her to my list. I actually have an arc of The Night and the Moth, which I have not read yet. I might take that with me to get it signed, or I might just buy an actual copy and get that signed. I'm not entirely sure. But her signing is from 12 to 1 on Saturday. So literally right after the first panel ends. The next thing on my list that I am hoping to get a reservation for is another panel. And this one is on Saturday and takes place between 12:45 and 1:45. And this is Audible Presents New Achievement. The Princess Posse comes to BookCon. And the panelists for this event are Jeff Hayes and Matt Dinniman, who wrote Dungeon Crawler Carl. The description for the panel is as follows. Welcome, crawlers. Welcome to the Dungeon. Join Matt Dinniman, the New York Times bestselling author of Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and Audible narrator Jeff Hayes, the voice of Carl, Princess Donut, and all your favorite characters. In this dynamic discussion, Dinniman and Hayes will discuss the evolution of the lit RPG audiobooks that have taken the world by storm and provide an exclusive early look at A Parade of Horribles, the much anticipated 8th installment in the series. I was obsessed with Dungeon Crawler Carl after I read it. I've only read the first book, but I would like to do audiobook for the next one. I'm hesitant because I felt like I had to pay attention to a lot of the things that were happening in the book. So I might do a tandem read with the book and the audiobook at the same time. But I am very excited to continue the series. I had such a good time with Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's like nothing else I've ever read before. If you have not read the book or you have not heard of it, the book is sci-fi and it's kind of similar to Ready Player One in the sense that you are a real life person thrown into a video game, but you're not. In Ready Player One, the guy is putting on a headset and he knows he's going into a video game. In Dungeon Crawler Carl has no idea he's entering a video game. Not a clue. And then he can't get out once he's in it. And he's stuck there with Princess Donut, his ex-girlfriend's show cat. Just that description alone should make you want to read this book. This book is hysterical. I've heard nothing but good things about the audiobooks. I actually had people tell me after I finished the book to go back and listen to the audiobook. They were like, the audiobook's so good, you would love it. So the fact that they're doing an entire panel about the audiobooks for this series is so exciting, and I'm so pumped. After that panel, I am hoping to get into the signing with Tracy Deonn. I am obsessed with the Legendborn series. If you have not read the Legendborn series, legitimately, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Go pick it up. It's outstanding. I'm procrastinating reading the third book in the series because it was originally, I believe, supposed to be a trilogy. So I started it when the second book came out, and I knew I wouldn't have that long to wait until the third book came out, and then it was announced that it was going to be longer. So I'm procrastinating reading it because I don't want it to end on another cliffhanger. These books are so outstanding, and I knew when I saw Tracy Deonn get announced for BookCon, I had to be at her signing. I could not stop thinking about these books after I read them. I legitimately still can't stop thinking about them today. They're outstanding. The way that Tracy Deonn is able to wrap real world things that are happening into Knights of the Round Table retelling, kind of, is phenomenal. The way that she expresses the experience as a young Black girl surrounded by all these rich white kids that have nothing but privilege and prejudice against people that are different. It's phenomenal. Please go read it. If you get one thing from this video, please go read it. The next event after Tracy Deonn's signing is a signing with Matt Dinniman. This is the only signing he will be doing all weekend that I saw on the website. This signing is on Saturday from 2 to 3:30. I think that's why this signing is longer than all the other ones. Most of the other signings are only an hour long. His is an hour and a half. I don't know if that's because he's so popular or if it's just because it's the only signing he's going to be doing. But from what I've seen, it is the only signing he's going to be doing. And again, that's something that's getting placed in like my top 5 priority list because I loved that book and I have to go to his signing. After Matt Dinniman's signing, we have probably number 2 on my priority list, which is Rachel Reid signing. Again, I have a Heated Rivalry tattoo. I watch Heated Rivalry almost every single day. I am planning on rereading the books and annotating them, which will be my first annotation ever. We'll get into that in a different video. But I have to meet her. I have to have her sign my book. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. I have to be there. She is doing multiple signings, so I'm not overly worried that I won't get into at least one of them. But this one fits exactly in my schedule. So that's where we're at. Her signing on Saturday that I would like to go to is from 3:30 to 4:30. The next thing I am hoping to get a reservation for is another panel. This panel is titled First Loves, Next Chapters, a look at YA and new adult romance. This is going to have a bunch of different panelists. This is on Saturday from 4 to 5. We have panelists Haley Pham. You guys know Haley Pham. We have Jennifer Iacopoli, which I looked into her, and one of her books I am like dying to read. That would be Finding Her Edge, which is actually, I believe, streaming on Netflix right now, which is really, really cool. So I'm dying to pick that book up. I'm going to pick it up while I'm there. We also have K.I. Walther and Laura Taylor Namey. I am excited about this one, specifically because I'm excited to see Haley Pham speak, because I watch her videos a lot and I'm really excited about that. And again, I'm excited to hear Jennifer Iacopoli talk about what it was like having her book switched over to being a TV show on such a popular streaming service. But the description of this panel is a lingering glance, a racing heart, that first magnetic draw to someone that lets you know this is more than a crush. Nothing captures these first feelings, and sometimes returnings, of love better than YA and new adult romance. All these authors will be discussing their books and how transformational love stories can be. I'm so excited about that panel. If I don't get a reservation to that one, I won't be crazy upset, but that one did sound super interesting and it fit perfectly in my schedule. So I figured, why not? The next thing I'm hoping to go to is another signing, and this is for Veronica Roth. She will be signing on Saturday between 5 and 6. She's another author that is going to be doing multiple signings on both days. I was obsessed with Divergent when it came out. I don't think I've ever cried at a book or a series ending as hard as I did when the Divergent series ended. I was down bad for days. And I literally sent Snapchat videos to every single person I knew, hysterically crying and telling them to read the books. And they were like, why would I read the books if you're hysterically crying to me on the phone right now? What are you talking about? All of this to say, I am obsessed still with Divergent. I still think about that book all the time. I would love to give them a reread, honestly, because it's been a very long time since I read them. Veronica Roth is coming out with a deluxe collector's type edition of the first book of Divergent, and it's gorgeous. Go look it up. It's on her Instagram, but if you want to see it, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And it doesn't come out until after BookCon, but she is going to have a select amount of inventory for sale at BookCon. So best believe I will be picking that book up while I'm there. But I also would like to get it signed by her because I just think that that would be so incredibly cool. I have no idea where my original copy of Divergent is. It's somewhere in my attic. All these books on my bookshelves behind me, if you didn't know, are all my TBR. They're not books I've already read. So all of my books I've already read, in a completely different room. Some of them are in my attic. Some of them are in my upstairs bedroom. They're everywhere. Okay. I digress. I don't know where my original copy is, but I would like to get the collector's edition anyway, and I'll probably have her sign that. The last thing I would like to get a reservation for on Saturday to finish out all of my events for the day would be another panel, and this one is titled, Are We Still Single Because of Fictional Characters? Hot Takes on the Most Iconic Book Boyfriends of Our Time. Is that title not the most intriguing thing you've ever heard? I think about my book boyfriends more than I think about my actual boyfriend, and that is slightly concerning, okay? I think it's just because there's so many more of them, and there's only one of him. But I digress. This panel is going to have panelists Christine Riccio and Natasha Polis. I hope I pronounced those right. And the description for this is, join those forking fangirls, Christine Riccio and Natasha Polis, and a special author guest to discuss their hottest takes and yours on the most prominent book boyfriends of our time. Let's dig into how they've infiltrated our dating lives and subconsciously shaped our expectations and requirements for a partner. What book boyfriend traits have become non-negotiable for us in real life? Will the expectations ever be met? Are we joking? I need to be sitting in a room with girlies and just discuss that, because don't we all? Isn't that just a prominent question that stands out in our minds? I have to know what having book boyfriends or what other people think having book boyfriends has done for our love lives. Because I think it's set the bar so insanely high, no man is ever going to meet it. Am I right, ladies? Am I right? I think I'm right. That is everything that I have for Saturday. That last panel takes place between 6 and 7 o'clock. After that, they have a couple other things listed. These are all going to be later night events. I know they have a bookish bingo that I would like to go to. They obviously have the fantasy ball that's later that night that I would also like to go to. I still have to get a dress for that. So they have all types of different events they're going to be doing that night. I don't think any of those require reservations. I will be looking into that just to confirm. And some of the panels that I was talking about for Saturday do not require reservations, but I'm sure reservations are encouraged. So let's get into what I would like to do on Sunday. Sunday is a shorter day, a decent amount shorter than Sunday. And for me, planning this out is definitely a lot less hectic. I still tried to fit as much as I could in, but I'm hoping on Sunday I will have more time to actually look around through the exhibitors and through Indie Alley and maybe just make some friends, because I would love that. So the first thing that I have on my list to get reservations for on Sunday is a panel, and it is titled "You Had Me at Hockey, a look at one of sports romance's hottest genres." This is going to take place between 11 and 12 on Sunday. The description for this event is, has there ever been a better time to be a hockey romance fan? Puck no. These stories are a high-stakes competition meets ice-melting chemistry. Join some of the genre's favorite voices. Apologies in advance if I butcher any of these names. Ngozi Ukazu, Emily Rath, Rachel Reid, Kate Cochran, Stephanie Archer, and moderator Bal Cabra as they discuss what makes hockey the perfect backdrop for romance, both in and out of the rink. Obviously, with Rachel Reid being on the panel, I have to go. Stephanie Archer is another one that I've heard of that is fantastic. Emily Rath is fantastic. I am just very excited to hear what they have to say as somebody who, if you couldn't tell, is a hockey fan and has season tickets to the Philadelphia Flyers. It is so cool for me to read hockey romances because it gives me the best of both worlds. It gives me my romance, but it also gives me my hockey. And the fact that it is becoming so popular is so much fun for me, and I absolutely love it. So, of course, any panel that is focusing specifically on ice hockey romance, I have to be at. So that's my first priority for Sunday. Now, the next thing that I'm going to try to get reservations for on Sunday is a little bit different. This is actually a pre-panel signing for a panel that I would like to go to later in the day on Sunday. So I'll tell you what time the signing is at, and then I'll describe to you what the panel actually is going to be. So this specific signing, again, it's a pre-panel signing. This is going to be from 12 to 1 on Sunday. And the panel itself is not going to take place on Sunday until 4. So it'll be between 4 to 5. And this panel is Into the World of Romantasy, Exploring the Marriage Between Genres. Now, I know romantasy has been getting a lot bigger within the last couple of years, and I'm very intrigued about why that is and what these authors have to say about how they're blending the two worlds and how they feel about it. So the description of this panel, that again, the panel takes place between 4 and 5 on Sunday. Some genres just complement one another perfectly, and few genres are a better example than romantasy. But why? Join authors Stasia Stark, Elise Kova, Adeline Grace, and Alex Astor as they discuss why the pairing of romance and fantasy works so well and how they balance the elements integral to each genre within their best-selling stories. So the signing comes first. That's from 12 to 1. And then again, the panel is not until later. It's from 4 to 5. And that is the last thing I have on my docket for Sunday. So that should be a good way to end out the day. The next panel I would like to get reservations to is another one that is a top priority for me for Sunday because I love some of the panelists and I would die if I was able to meet them. So the next panel that I am going to try to get a reservation for is on Sunday between 2 and 3, and it is called Dynamic Duos, Successful Stories of Writing in Pairs. Now, I've always wondered how authors are able to co-author and make it feel so seamless as if it's just written by one person. And one of the panelists that is going to be on this panel is, or two of the panelists, I guess, are one of my favorite authors, two of my favorite authors that I've read in the romance genre. Obviously, I don't know how to qualify this. And that is Christina Lauren. I am obsessed with Christina Lauren. I absolutely love them. And as an author, as two authors, they're just incredible. And I didn't know for the longest time that it was two different women that were co-writing these books together because it just feels so absolutely seamless. So here's the description of the actual panel. Chemistry isn't just an important feature of the love stories these pairs pen together. It's important to the writing dynamic too. So what does it look like when two imaginations come together to create one single story? Join best-selling co-authors Christina Lauren and Sable Sorensen as they talk about collaborative storytelling and what readers have to look forward to next from these dynamic duos. I know that Christina Lauren is going to have arcs available of their next book that is coming out, and I need that arc. I signed up to hopefully be picked to get this arc at BookCon, and if I do, I will cry the whole way home. I will cry the whole way home. It will be my new prized possession. I love Christina Lauren so much. I have yet to read anything by Sable Sorensen, but I know that they are insanely popular because they wrote Direbound, and I have heard nothing but good things about that book. I've seen it all over Book Talk, and if I didn't have an endless TBR, I would have picked it up already, but honestly, I will probably pick it up when I go to BookCon, okay? This event is also going to have a post-panel signing, and that will take place between 3:15 and 4:15, so right before the last panel of my day would begin. That is the entirety of my proposed day for Sunday, and it's definitely a lot less hectic than Saturday was. I will post the full breakdown in my caption of this video of what I am hoping to get. And then hopefully on Tuesday, I will finish out this video with all of the things that I actually did get a reservation for. And if I had to switch anything up, I will let you guys know. All right, y'all. It's Tuesday night. I did my reservations. That was very, very stressful. Honestly, it was like waiting in line for concert tickets and then finally getting to the queue and thinking you're only going to have like 100 people in front of you and you actually have like 8 million. It was so stressful. I opened up the queue. Now, I was in the queue for VIP and premium VIP only, okay? I opened up the queue. There's 600 people in front of me. I got into the queue 45 minutes early, and I didn't know what to expect. There's 600 people in front of me, and it's telling me my wait time is 40 minutes. And I'm like, I'm not getting any of the panels or any of the signings that I want in my head. I'm like shaking and like hyperventilating, and I'm at work all while this is happening. And I'm like, I'm not going to get any of the panels or any of the signings that I want. I said, my two priorities are the Game Changers panel with Rachel Reid and Jacob Tierney and getting the Rachel Reid signing. Let me tell you guys, everything I listed to you in the first part of this video, only some of them required reservations. So the ones that didn't require a reservation, those ones weren't even up for grabs. Literally all that was up for grabs were the ones that require a reservation. I managed to score every single thing on my list. The time for Rachel Reid had to change slightly. I had her in a specific time on Saturday, but when I clicked into her name, the only time that was available was a time on Sunday. So I had to like rearrange what I was doing. But I knew I had to go to her signing. So let me tell you guys what I actually got versus what I told you about in the first part. All right, so the first thing on my list that I scored was the Game Changing TV panel, and that is the Celebrating Heated Rivalry panel with Jacob Tierney and Rachel Reid. That was honestly, like I said, top priority. If I didn't get into that one, I was going to be livid. Got into that one. Then I also got the Tracy Deonn book signing for the exact time that I was looking for. I am so hyped about that one. I also got a Cassandra Clare book signing, which I did not go into the reservations today planning for that one, but I literally could not pass it up. It was at a perfect time too. Like I had time open at that slot. I also got the Rachel Reid book signing. Again, different time slot than what was anticipated, and I am going to have to miss one of the panels to go to it, but it's not a huge deal. I also got the Veronica Roth book signing that I was looking for, and I got a book signing for Rachel Gillig. So I literally got everybody that I was looking for, plus the Cassandra Clare one, which I'm very excited about, I kind of want to reread Shadowhunters. Obviously, I shouldn't be doing that because there's like a bajillion of those books and I have way too much on my TBR to be opening that can of worms right now. Just so you guys are aware, I just posted about this on Threads and TikTok. So if you guys don't see me over there and you're watching this and you're like, girly, you're going to meet Rachel Reid. You're going to be in the same room as Rachel Reid and Jacob Tierney. Listen, I'm internally panicking about it already. Okay? You don't need to tell me. What I will tell you is that I'm planning on making a fan project to give to Rachel Reid when I go to her signing. And I want to put together kind messages, words from people who the story, whether it's the book or the show, have changed their lives. I want to put together pictures of fan projects, fan art, pictures of fans going to like the Heated Rivalry dance nights, maybe just watching the show or reading the book with your friends, maybe pictures of you with friends that you've met through the show or the book. I think that that would just be amazing, and it would be something that I could give her from more of us than just the ones who are able to get to the signing. So if you're interested in participating in that fan project, send me an email. My email's in the caption. Send me an email and let me know in the subject line, HR fan project or Heated Rivalry fan project, and send me whatever you want to send me. Pictures, letters, whatever you got. It can be from just you. It can be from you and your friends, whatever. Or feel free to message me on Threads or TikTok and let me know if you have any questions. But I'm really excited to be putting this fan project together. I think it'll just mean so much to be able to give her love from not just the couple fans she's going to meet that day, probably hundreds of fans she's going to meet that day, but from everybody, not just the people able to go to BookCon. So if you want to participate, I would love to have as many fans participate as possible. I felt like today went really, really smooth. I know a lot of people did not feel the same way. We'll see how people feel on Wednesday tomorrow when general admission goes up. I have no idea how that's going to go because I'm sure if there were 600 people in front of me, there's going to be thousands of people in that line for general reservations tomorrow. I think they said like 10,000 people are going to BookCon, which the thought of that stresses me out so bad. On another note, I did get a brand new camera today. Just got it in the mail. So excited to start filming on that. So the next YouTube video you see from me should be a lot crisper and clearer. I hope you guys will stick around for that and what is to come next week. Now I'm curious, for those of you that are going to BookCon, what are your priorities for reservations? I know by the time this video comes out, reservations will already have been done, but what are your priorities? What is your top number one thing, whether it's a panel or a signing that you need to go to or you will be so depressed for the rest of your life? And if you're not going to BookCon, have you looked into going to BookCon next year already? And what would be your top priority of things that you would want to do panel-wise or authors that you would absolutely need to see? Honestly, even with all the panels and author signings that I just described, I think the thing that I am most excited about is Indie Alley because, again, some of my favorite authors are indie authors, and my bookshelf would not be complete without them. So make sure you're showing indie authors love too. As excited as I am to see all these other authors, I just think they deserve the most love. I'm so hyped to walk through Indie Alley and just buy way too many books. Thank you guys so much for watching my explanation of everything that I hope to achieve at BookCon and what I've already pre-ordered. I am so excited for BookCon. Again, if you guys see me there, I will be alone wandering, not aimlessly because my schedule is going to be packed, but I will be alone wandering around. So if you see me, please come up and say hi. I would love to make some new friends. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the fun things, and I will talk to you guys soon.